64 years ago, a line was drawn across Berlin. Not with a pen, but with concrete, barbed wire, and a very bad attitude. For 28 years, that wall didn't just divide a city, it divided the world. And yet, here we are in 2025, still building walls, both visible and invisible. So maybe the Berlin Wall never really left us. Maybe it just got better PR. Because from migration policy to digital censorship to political polarization, echoes of that wall are everywhere. Welcome to The Berlin Wall Still Matters in 2025, a story about fear, freedom, and the weird human obsession with separation. 1. The wall that split the world. August 13, 1961. Overnight, East Germany wakes up with a brand new feature. 155 kilometers of barbed wire and concrete slicing through Berlin. By morning, a city that had been one heartbeat was now two nervous systems. Families torn apart, neighbors trapped on opposite sides, and the new geopolitical buzzword, the Iron Curtain. At its height, the wall had 302 watchtowers, 20 bunkers, and a death strip. A stretch of no man's land where at least 140 people were killed trying to escape. Unofficial estimates go as high as 1,000. But let's be clear, this wasn't just a wall, it was a statement. Freedom is dangerous, control is safety. Sound familiar? It should. We hear versions of that sentence all the time in 2025. Because it turns out fear ages like fine wine. 2. The economics of division. In 1961, West Berlin was booming. Think capitalism with neon lights. East Berlin, state-run everything, gray skies, and a 5-year wait for a car. By the 1980s, West Germany's GDP per capita was nearly 3 times higher than East Germany's. The wall didn't protect socialism, it strangled it. Even after reunification in 1990, the economic scar lasted decades. To this day, average incomes in the former East are about 15% lower than in the West. And get this, around 70% of top executives in unified Germany still come from the Western side. Turns out, you can demolish a wall, but inequality? That one sticks around. And speaking of sticking around, let's talk propaganda. Because walls don't stand without stories. 3. The power of the narrative. The East German government called it the anti-fascist protection barrier. Yes, you heard that right. They claimed it was built to protect citizens from fascists in the West, not to keep them locked in. Classic PR move. But the real genius wasn't the concrete, it was the story. They didn't just control movement, they controlled meaning. By 1985, 1 in every 50 East Germans worked for the Stasi, the state security agency, keeping tabs, spreading doubt, rewriting truth. Now swap the Stasi for an algorithm and boom, you're in 2025. We live behind digital walls now, curated feeds, echo chambers, and filter bubbles that split us faster than any concrete barrier ever could. Back then, people risked their lives to escape propaganda. Now we subscribe to it for $9.99 a month. 4. How it fell and why that matters. November 9th, 1989. A bureaucratic slip-up, a confused press conference, and one poorly worded statement, and the gates opened. No tanks, no shots fired, just people. Tens of thousands rushing to the wall, hammering, climbing, crying. Within hours, the most fortified border on Earth became a street party. The Soviet Empire, an institution built on fear and control, fell not with an explosion, but with applause. That night, history changed because people showed up. If you ever doubt that collective action works, remember, the wall didn't fall on its own. People pushed, together. But tearing down is easy. The hard part, what comes next? 5. The long hangover. Reunification reality check. After the wall fell, Germany faced one of history's biggest social experiments. merging two countries that had lived in separate realities for nearly 3 decades. West Germans thought reunification would be like plugging in a USB, instant connection. Instead, it was like merging a Tesla with a Trabi. In the 90s, Germany spent over 2 trillion euros rebuilding the East. That's like buying 2 entire apples, the company, not the fruit. Even now, polls show only 57% of former East Germans feel they're full citizens. Generations later, the cultural split still hums quietly beneath the surface. Turns out, you can remove a wall faster than you can uninstall resentment. 6. The global lesson: walls keep coming back. Today, there are over 70 border walls around the world. That's more than 4 times as many as in 1989. From the US-Mexico border to India and Bangladesh to the EU's fortified frontiers, humanity's favorite architectural style is still keep out. We call them security fences, barriers, protection zones, but they're all the same idea: fear wearing a fresh coat of policy paint. And don't even get me started on the invisible ones. 7. The digital wall era. In 2025, walls aren't just physical, they're digital, algorithmic, and self-reinforcing. Governments like China have built the Great Firewall, blocking over 10,000 foreign websites. Meanwhile, Western democracies use surveillance tech so advanced, the Stasi would have called it overkill. Social media, meant to connect us, has become a border patrol for our opinions. The Berlin Wall was 12 feet high. Today's walls, they're invisible and 12 million pixels wide. But here's the kicker: walls don't just divide nations, they divide minds. 8. What the wall teaches about fear and freedom. The wall was built out of fear: fear of invasion, fear of ideas, fear of change. But it fell because of hope, because millions believed that connection was stronger than control. Every wall starts with the same question: what if they come for us? But the real question should be, what happens if we stop reaching out? The wall is history's most concrete metaphor, literally, for how fear can feel safe, right until it isn't. And here's the irony: by trying to isolate themselves, East Germany collapsed faster. 9. The pieces that connect us. You can find pieces of the Berlin Wall in over 150 countries, at the UN headquarters, in Seoul, in Los Angeles, even in the Vatican. Each chunk tells the same story. This was built to divide, and now it unites. Berlin itself has turned its scars into strength. Its art, its tech scene, its diversity, all rooted in the idea that walls can fall. Because the wall didn't just shape a city, it shaped the mindset. 10. The real reason it still matters. The Berlin Wall is gone, but the lesson is timeless. The moment we stop questioning our walls, we start rebuilding them. Political walls, social walls, digital walls. They're subtler now. Hashtags instead of checkpoints, firewalls instead of concrete, but the effect is the same. The Berlin Wall still matters because it reminds us that division is easy, but unity, that's the hard, beautiful human part. History doesn't repeat, it just changes hashtags. So before we build the next wall, maybe let's ask ourselves, who's it really protecting? If this made you think, question, or want to tear something symbolic down, hit that like button, share it with someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe for more stories that prove the past is never past. It's just waiting to be understood.